If you're running a direct-to-consumer or e-commerce brand and you've been told just keep your chargebacks under 1% and you're safe, well, I have some bad news for you. You've been lied to. In 2026, you can be sitting at 0.6, 0.7% chargeback, and poof, out of nowhere, you could get a processor that puts your payments on hold. You can get your account closed down, and you haven't even reached that 1% magic threshold. Processors aren't just looking at your chargeback ratio anymore. They're looking at your momentum, the speed that you're growing, if you have a very high refund rate, if they have different algorithms and patterns that show that, your type of business can lead to losses. All these factors are taken a look at now, and with AI being able to analyze data very, very quickly, payment processors are making decisions very quickly on when to close accounts, when to freeze funds, or when to take a reserve, for example. If you've ever gotten a chargeback warning email or some kind of risk review, or some funds have been held in reserves, it is very important for you to listen to this episode, because I'm going to explain what processors are now looking at to make decisions, how you can ensure that you can scale effectively so you don't lose your payment processing, and most importantly, what you can do to minimize chargeback and risks on your payment processing account. My name is Maria Spragas. I have over 20 years of experience working with various merchants to lower their risk and keep their merchant account safe. And today I really want to dive in. What are the key metrics that payment processors are now looking at for chargeback? Now, processors look at velocity and volatility when they make up their minds. So if you have ups and downs and it's very volatile, and your velocity, meaning the number of transactions that come in, is up and down, that could trigger a lot of risk algorithms. And it's important that you communicate with your payment processor. For example, if you have launches and you have a seasonal business where, transaction volume can go up and down very quickly. You have a couple of weeks that are very high volume and then everything goes down. You need to make sure that they're aware of this so they can address this with their algorithm, and, it doesn't cause the algorithm to go crazy and shut you down. Now, specifically, if you're working with Shopify payments or Stripe or PayPal or one of those big box processors, algorithms are making decisions for them. This is not a human intervention. If you're working with your own merchant account and you have your own payment gateway, you can talk to somebody in the risk department and you can take care of that. If you're working with one of the other ones, what you want to do is identify your business as a seasonal business. So if you check off that flag in your settings that you are a seasonal business, then you will not get caught up in the mire of that algorithm when you have ups and downs for launches. Now, I see this daily. I get emails, I get phone calls, I get comments on my YouTube channel with various business owners who, just get started, and then all of a sudden they have an offer that hits it out of the park and they scale double, triple, quadruple their volume in a couple of months, and that is a risk factor. So if you're scaling very, very quickly, it's very important for you to have a backup solution and try to maintain volume in each payment processor at a regular level. You don't want to double your payment volume very, very quickly. You want to keep it as stable as possible, because when you have huge spikes, and even if you're, for example, this month at 0.6% chargeback, if you double your volume, well, all of a sudden the algorithm's going to say, well, that's going to be probably double the chargebacks. So that's going to put them over the threshold. So I'm going to shut them down, or I'm going to instill a reserve. So it's very, very important to try to have a couple of solutions and some backups in place to make sure if you're scaling, or if you have an offer that really hits it out of the park, you're not stuck with one payment processor that all of a sudden is holding 30% of your money because you grew too fast. So the name of the game here is fast changes and big changes is what causes the algorithm to trip up. So that's very difficult in an online business, to know whether you're going to have an offer that really does well or whether you have an ad that just converts like crazy, so this is the opposite of an online business and any business, really. You never know when something's going to work very well in the market, but banks and payment processors like regularity. So it's important that you try to mitigate that by, as I said, having some backup solutions or tagging your business as seasonal if you go through launches and so forth. So even if you feel safe because your ratio is low, 0.5%, 0.2%, and so forth, it's important for you to understand that your business can scale very quickly, or can have a jump in volume or a jump in a couple of chargebacks or even refunds. And all of a sudden, even if you're not at that magical 1%, you could start seeing some sanctions from your payment processor and some holds reserves or shutdowns. Now, the important thing for you to understand that in 2026, things have changed. Algorithms have changed. They're based on AI models, and they look at thousands and millions and billions of transactions to really make up rules that make sense for payment processors to diminish their risk. That doesn't mean that your business falls within those algorithms, but they just make general rules and they make decisions based on those general rules. And also recently, Visa launched something called VAMP, and this was created to try to curb chargebacks and to try to curb fraud. So there are a lot of algorithms and metrics that are now used that weren't there a couple of years ago when we had that famous 1% threshold. The old algorithm, as I said, that was that volume-based chargeback ratio. The new algorithms are looking at volume spikes. They're looking at transactions that are refunding more than normal. They're looking at chargebacks and disputes. They're also looking at customers who call in for information about the transaction and trigger a chargeback alert. So any of these actions can build into that algorithm that gets you in trouble with your payment processor. So it's not just necessarily, as I said, the chargeback ratio. All these things play a factor into the algorithm, and these can all contribute to you getting shut down or getting a risk review or getting a reserve on your account. And also keep in mind, if you sell subscriptions or if you're tagged in a high risk vertical or you sell information products, not anything physical, you have that algorithm working against you. They're even stricter with these types of businesses because these are the types of businesses traditionally that cause more risk, cause more fraud and chargebacks. So now you have all these different algorithms and different metrics that are really out there to try to clamp down on fraud, and they're looking at these types of businesses with more scrutiny. So you're probably getting, more declined transactions, or you're getting more conditions placed on you on your merchant account or your payment processing account. Also, one little thing that a lot of business owners don't understand is your traffic sources are now being scrutinized. If you get a lot of affiliate traffic, influencer traffic, traffic that's coming from one avenue, that could also be a trigger for the algorithm. They can tie it together with other offers that I've seen, for example, high risk or high fraud rates. And if you're getting traffic from that same traffic source, that could be another reason why the algorithm can be working against you. And another thing that's really overlooked is when you start processing with, for example, Stripe or Shopify payments, or even if you get your own merchant account, the first 60 days that you have your account are very critical. If in the first 60 days, you're already showing a pattern of high chargebacks or refunds, for example, if you have, over 0.3, 0.4% in that first month or two, you're already starting things off badly, and you will be on alert and you will likely get shut down if that pattern continues. So it's very important for the first 60 days that you're working with any payment processor that you keep it as clean as possible, because that establishes the relationship with that processor. Now, obviously, the worst thing that can happen is that your account gets shut down because it gets flagged for all these different things. But there are some early warnings that payment processors do in order to try to minimize losses. They may instill a reserve. I see very often on Shopify payments a reserve of 30%. That could be very crippling for a business. So that's almost as bad as getting shut down. Another thing could be that your account is frozen until you can answer their questions. So that could be days or a week or 10 days before you get the ability to process payments again. So during that time, obviously, your business can't process payments, which is a big problem. And then another thing is they might just hold your money. They say, hey, you can continue processing, but we're doing a review and we're holding all your money. So all these things can happen before a shutdown. And these are early warnings for you to start looking for another solution to make sure that even if your account gets reopened, I see this all the time, accounts get reopened and then merchants are able to continue processing. They forget about what happened, and then a month or two later, poof, this time it's not a reserve, it's not a payment hold, it's actually a shutdown. So take this as a warning, make sure that you get your ducks in a row and that you have some other solutions available if these early warnings come to play in your business. So it is very important for you to understand there are no clear rules for chargebacks at this point. These are decisions that are made at the processor level with some rules that Visa and MasterCard have instilled for payment processors, but these can change, and this is done on purpose. So you can never really know, what is the absolute cutoff, because before there was an absolute cutoff, and what Visa and MasterCard found was, merchants were skirting this and circumventing it by having multiple accounts all over the place and then keeping thresholds below. So this was a way for them to try to curb this type of activity, but it's made it harder for merchants who are trying to operate honestly to grow and scale without being worried that they're going to get shut down. And the painful truth about chargebacks is that even if you get a chargeback and you dispute it and you fight it and you win back, it still counts towards your chargeback ratio. Now, most merchants don't understand this and don't know this, but your chargeback ratio is calculated based on somebody's intent to charge back. So if they've charged back, even though you present proof and you win that back, that doesn't get it removed from your chargeback ratio, unfortunately. So those still count. The operative thing to do is try to avoid that chargeback altogether by having a clear communication with your customer, really emailing them, checking in on them, making sure they like your product, they like your service. And if they have any issues, they call you directly, not their bank, and they don't file a chargeback. And the damage that this does to you is that if you get a lot of chargebacks, even if you win them back, the algorithm starts working against you and starts seeing you as a risk because you have more chargebacks than you should. So it's very important for you to manage customer expectations, communicate very clearly, and very importantly, this will diminish chargebacks. So it is very important for you to manage customer expectations, to really communicate clearly with your customers. And I've said this multiple times on my channel if you've been listening, make sure it's very easy for your customers to cancel if you have a subscription product or service. You don't want people to stay on, get frustrated, not know how to cancel, and then just call their bank. So make it as seamless and as easy as possible if somebody wants to cancel, and let them be on their way. The old rules of, keeping customers there and having them jump through hoops to cancel are no longer applicable. Right now, customers can log into their bank, look at their credit card, and dispute a transaction in a matter of seconds. So it's very important for you to understand that it's very easy for somebody to charge back, and you want to avoid that at all costs. Now, what can you actually do to diminish your risk of getting caught with reserves and merchant account shutdowns and payment processor shutdowns? The important thing is for you to know your numbers. First things first is know where you stand in your chargeback ratio, know where you stand in your VAMP ratio. So the VAMP ratio is something that you can get from your payment processor. You can also see it on your statement. You'll see how many VAMP alerts you have gotten. If you're working with a chargeback alerts company, they can give you that information. So it's important that you understand what that information is and really take into account and monitor it every month. Also, you need to look at your refund ratio. This is something that a lot of business owners ignored. They'd have a lot of refunds, especially in an online environment. You can have 5-10% easily. Well, if you see huge jumps every month, that can trigger the algorithm to, cause consequences for your payment processing. So it's important that you know this information and that you track it on a monthly basis. And as I mentioned earlier, you need to look at more than just your chargeback ratio. You have to look at open disputes. If you're not winning a lot of disputes, also that could be another trigger. You also have to look at the complaints. So if, for example, you have a couple of chargebacks and, your payment processor is thinking of shutting you down, they can very easily look at your reputation online. If you have a lot of complaints and you're not responding, you have generally a bad reputation online, that can have severe consequences to your business. That can trigger you getting shut down. It could trigger reserves and so forth. So it's important that you take a look at your business's online reputation as another metric in keeping your merchant account safe. Now, a couple of things that you can do strategically is you might want to have a couple of different payment solutions, not because you're trying to game the system, but it is important if you're an online business to have a couple of solutions, just like you have, backup servers and backup employees and so forth. You should have some backup merchant accounts or payment processing facilities, because you just never know when one might have a tech issue, or you might get shut down, or a transaction gets declined, and then you can pass it on to another processor. So all these different reasons are important for you to understand, to have some backup solutions and to diversify your payment processors. And as I mentioned earlier, it's important that you talk proactively with your payment processor. My company, Direct Paynet, we provide merchant account solutions for various online businesses. You can call us, you can speak to us when, you're having a big launch or something went wrong in your business, or, you may have triggered more disputes than you thought because you didn't ship out a product or whatever the case is. But you can call your payment processor, you can explain to them what's going on in your business and ask them for solutions. And that's their job, is really to figure out how to help you. Now, The caveat here is if you're working with Stripe, Shopify Payments, PayPal, or one of those big box payment processors, you want to avoid stuff like that because you're not actually speaking to a human when you're doing that. You're speaking to an algorithm, which may misunderstand what you're saying and cause more problems. So keep that in mind and keep that in your back pocket if you have your own merchant account. But if you're working with a payment processor like Stripe and so forth, you don't want to use that strategy. Now, in closing, the old adage of 1% and 100 chargebacks is dangerous and it's outdated. Merchants who just look at these ratios could be in very big trouble with their payment processing facilities. Having a good chargeback ratio is one piece of the equation, but there are a lot of other things that you need to now keep in mind. It's a very dynamic world in payment processing, and payment processors are looking at various things, as I mentioned during this episode, in order to judge your business and decide whether they want to work with you. Now, if you have any questions or you want a personal opinion on how you're doing in your payment processing, and if you're at risk of getting shut down or have chargeback issues, feel free to reach out to me or somebody from my team at Direct Paynet, and we would be happy to help you and give you an assessment on risk. If you have specific questions that you need answered, drop me a line down below, and don't forget to like and to subscribe for more amazing content on how to keep your business safe from chargebacks. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.